Good morning. Breaking overnight, former President George H.W. Bush has died. The 41st president of the United States, passing away in his hometown of Houston overnight at the age of 94. Condolences pouring in from across the world as the man who was known as 41 is remembered fondly by his family, friends, and politicians from both sides of the aisle. The former president remembered as a man devoted to service who spent his entire life fighting to make the United States a better place. War hero, congressman, CIA director, vice president, and finally, president.
I, George Herbert Walker Bush.
Former President Bush in the Oval Office for some of history's biggest events, victory in the Gulf War.
As president, I can report to the nation, aggression is defeated, the war is over.
Also at the helm for the end of the Cold War, the fall of the Berlin Wall. A dedicated public servant who spent his life after the presidency helping to raise hundreds of millions of dollars for charitable causes. A devoted husband to the love of his life, Barbara, who passed earlier this year. A loving father and grandfather remembered fondly by his family this morning as the greatest man they ever knew. The world honors President George H.W. Bush today, Saturday, December 1st, 2018.
From NBC News, this is a special edition of Today, remembering President George H.W. Bush.
Good morning and welcome to Today, and thank you for joining us on this special edition of Today on a Saturday morning as we mourn the passing of the nation's 41st president, George Herbert Walker Bush. Peter is in Buenos Aires this morning. Harry Smith is with us here in New York.
It's interesting. I first interviewed him back in 1984, and a lot of memories are flooding in this morning. Former President Bush dedicated his life in service of the country he loves so much. Condolences have been pouring in since late last night. Let's get right to NBC's